Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jessup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jessup.
Most people understand the need for life insurance, but not many want to talk about why it's essential to your financial plan. It may seem intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. Don't get overwhelmed. Get started with Country Financial. Call me, Sean O'Quinn, today at 588-1051 and let me work with you to find life insurance that gives you the protection you need at a price you can afford.
Life insurance policies issued by Country Life Insurance Company and Country Investors Life Assurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Jessup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup. 5 minutes after 8 o'clock here on this Wednesday morning, February 9th. And on the phone with us, we're from Atlanta, Georgia. I assume he's in Atlanta. State Representative Bill Werkheiser. Bob, take it away.
Again, it's Wednesdays with Werkheiser. Bill Werkheiser on the phone. Bill, how you doing today?
Doing good. Morning. How are y'all?
We're doing great.
Doing
Appreciate
good.
you coming. Appreciate you calling in each Wednesday. Tell us your schedule for today and this week. Is talking to Stephen and talking to Blake Tiller. It's been a pretty busy week in Atlanta.
Yeah, it's getting a little crazy. It seems like this year it always starts out slow and then ramps up. Seems like this year it ramps up a lot faster than previous years. Today is actually I don't want to say an off day. We are not in the chamber, so we're not voting on bills, but that really doesn't matter because we really haven't been voting on very many bills anyway. Like yesterday was like 3. Most of our work is in committee, vetting bills, perfecting bills, trying to get them out of committee so that we can get them on the floor. It's quite a build-up. The pipeline, of course, starts empty every year, and people will drop about 900 bills and resolutions, and then we'll, go through committee processes trying to get those on the floor before we vote on them.
So, again, you say it's an off day. How many days have we had and how many days left? When's crossover day? Where's that coming up?
So we did 13. Tomorrow will be day 14, which is halfway to crossover. Day 28 is crossover, and then, of course, on day 40, so days 38, 39, 40 is when we'll go in at 9 or 10 and be there till midnight, trying to get as many out.
So tomorrow's only day 14, so y'all still got way over halfway to go. Are y'all trying to get out there quickly because of elections, or are y'all just taking your time?
No. The schedule is actually pretty close to what's been in the past. Like last year, we got out March 31st. This year, we're getting out April the 4th.
April the 4th,
So,
okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty rare that we already know our schedule for the whole session. That's one thing that leadership has tried to improve on the last few years, because it was just 2 or 3 years ago we didn't know but 1 week at a time if we were going to be here on Friday or not. And that's so knowing kind of helps planning. It's nice to know if you're going to be off on a Friday or Monday.
That's good.
So you can plan your trips back home.
I mentioned
So
crossover
for
day.
example, this week we're in Friday and Monday, so most of us, the 3 of us, still go home every week, whether we're in Friday or not. It just makes the weekend shorter.
Yeah. I mentioned crossover day. I just assume people know what crossover day, but for those that may not understand crossover day, explain what that is.
So that's the last day for a bill to get out of the House to go over to the Senate. And then same thing, if a Senate bill does not get out of the Senate chamber, it will not get heard in the House. And interesting you brought that up. Yesterday I got a text about 3 Senate bills and I had no idea what they were talking about. It's funny, we're kind of in different worlds. With, you know, of half those 900 bills being done in the House, we've got our head buried in all that so much. It's not that we don't care. We really don't have time to keep up with the Senate bills. Now we'll see the headlines like the one about what Blake mentioned yesterday about the Clarence Thomas, but unless it makes the headlines, we really don't know about the Senate bills.
I guess it's hard enough keeping up with all the bills that y'all do because there's so many that are written and presented to the committees that y'all have a ton of bills to go through. Only a few actually get out of the committees.
Yeah, I tell people all the time when they come to my office to discuss something and they're having problems with it, I tell them, well, when you file it, you've got a 10% chance because out of 900 bills, the governor's only going to sign 100 and 130. So you got a slim chance of getting it across the finish line. So, you know, the odds are against you.
It's amazing how much new stuff can come up every single session where the almost 900 bills have to be sent in through the Senate and the House. That much new information can come in each year, or either it's just a repeat of bills from last year. Is that correct?
Yeah, a lot of that happens, both of those. For example, so we have these morning whip discussions where people get to talk about bills that they filed that they, you know, want to pass. And for example, yesterday, this is because technology changes so fast. We're dealing with so many bills that we would have never discussed even 5 years ago. For example, someone's got a bill to prevent a person from unknowingly putting a tracking device on someone else's car. So like if you do your spouse and your spouse knows it, just like my spouse and I, because we travel so much, we have Find My Friend on our phone so we can keep up with each other. But there are people for unscrupulous reasons or someone going through a divorce will put a tracking device on someone else's car. And right now that's not illegal. So, and the reason so many things are not illegal is because the technology did this.
You know, you mentioned crazy bills. I read something the other day. I don't know if you heard this. There was a bill proposed. You know, we've gone through that no texting and no driving, things like that. But I saw a proposal where they wanted to make it a law where it's okay to have your cell phone in your hands at a stop sign or a traffic light. Have you seen that?
Yeah, and so you're putting that in the category of crazy, but that one is actually
that is crazy.
Well, I'm just saying, we just went through no texting and driving, so, and most people have Bluetooth in their phone nowadays, so you don't have to. No, but I was curious why somebody would propose that it's okay to use your phone at a red light or a stop sign.
Well, their argument is if you're at a stop sign and even though you have Bluetooth maybe for navigation, what about if you need to, scroll through emails or stuff? Their arguments are, they argued that item while the bill was going through the first time. So that bill is actually getting some traction. I can tell you law enforcement is fighting it. It's just too many gray areas. So that's one of those 90% bills that probably won't make it, but it will certainly make a lot of noise as it goes through.
Well, I think that would increase road rage because, you know, you're sitting there on your phone and somebody's sitting behind you at a traffic stop or stop sign and you're looking at your phone and somebody's going to be honking the horn at you. You're not there that long to be able to get your phone out and be able to do anything on it, especially stop signs, but even traffic lights.
Yeah, people in Metro might argue a little bit.
Yeah, I know in Metro they would.
How much time stop it?
It just seems like it'd be hard for law enforcement, you know, to even worry about it. You know, they'd pull somebody over and say, "Hey, I was at the stop sign," and that's when I had my phone.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, that's a big gray area.
It seems like it would muddy the water. For
can of worms open up.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anything controversial on the horizon? Where's the gun permit thing coming? I haven't heard much about that. I know the governor's pushing that, but is that going to be debated, or how's that going to play out?
So that, again, that's a bill that is starting in the Senate, and it did make it out of committee along party lines. They have not put that on the floor yet, so they have not debated or voted that out. I'm assuming that bill will gain traction and pass because it's coming from a governor's floor leader.
Yesterday we were talking to Blake Tillery in the story in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Had the picture of the guy with showing the finger in the picture, but you texted me that's a pretty big photo, right?
So, all right.
Explain that for us.
Okay. So I didn't realize until I was talking to Blake yesterday, the Senate doesn't even do this, but, the House chamber is so much bigger. It's 180 of us. So this guy comes in every year with this crazy equipment, and he scans the room, and he takes a photo of the chamber, which is almost circular in fashion as far as the seating is. And so he scans back and forth, and then they Photoshop and makes it look like we're all standing or sitting in our desk in a room that's 100 feet wide.
Wow.
We're not. Yeah, it's a nice photo that, I bought the one that then they offer it for sale, and so I bought the one in my freshman year, but haven't bought the one since. So anyway, nobody would have known had the guy not obviously told a friend of his, and then a friend, because each of us, our photo's like 3/8 of an inch.
I know, it's so small.
Yeah. So the picture in the AJC, of course, was blown up. So anyway, I'm not defending what he did, but I understand his frustration. He was the only Republican basically drawn out of his seat. And he came in when I did, and up until last year was the floor leader. So he's frustrated. And he went to the well yesterday and apologized. He said that was not the appropriate way to show his frustration. He's really good. He's a solid guy. We all do dumb stuff, and he admitted that. So,
but unless you were looking for it, you wouldn't see it because he has his hands folded in front of him, and the picture would have been showing him real small. So if most people, if they'd taken a look at that big picture, they would have never seen it. But it had to be blown up, and he had to tell somebody because he had his hands folded, and just one finger happened to be across the top of the hand of the other one. And it was just, I know he was trying to be funny and everything, but, these days you got to be so careful in what you do.
He just messed up, Bill. I was disappointed. He confessed that he made a mistake. He just should have said, look, I was just telling everybody I'm number one. That's all I had to do.
Number one. Just used the wrong finger.
That's right.
Well, and he admittedly yesterday, he said, it was not cute. It was not, he sincerely apologized, and it's, like I said, he's a solid guy. And, I tell you what, Butch and Bob, the older I get, the less judgmental I get, because I have way too many logs in my own eye to, nitpick.
It was just
other
funny.
people's eyes.
It was just funny.
I'm like you, Bill. I go to that Mike Tyson line, that movie, The Hangover, when he's sitting there with those guys, and he said, we've all done stupid things.
Yeah, we've all done stupid things, so don't judge.
We've all been there, all done that. Yeah. But anyway, anything else we need to know about? It's just a dead week. So how's the weather forecast? The weather here is going to be a pretty nice day about Atlanta.
Yeah, it's cold. It's always 8 to 10 degrees colder here, so it starts out pretty cold when we have to get in our cars early in the morning and walk to the Capitol. But then, yesterday afternoon it stayed cold all day. But I was trying to jot down some notes here. One of the things that is interesting because this is not party lines, but it has everything to do with party lines, and that is somebody's got a bill not to make it statewide, but to make it where counties can opt to have their Board of Education partisan or nonpartisan. And it's an interesting discussion because on the one hand, say like, probate judges and school board members, you could argue, why would you want to make those partisan? Like a school board member should represent every, family, every child, whether they're Republican or Democrat. But the other argument of that, against that, is, Well, yeah, I want to know that because I want to know whether my school board member is a fiscal conservative or a social liberal, or they want to know where they stand on social issues. So I would love to hear from your listeners their thoughts on that, because it's a solid argument on both sides.
Yeah, you can understand that. How's your school board member or judge, anybody like that? How do they stand on the issues? Is it conservative? Is it liberal? Is it middle of the road? Whatever the case may be. Usually in their campaigns, they kind of let you know, but a lot of times people don't keep up with those kind of campaigns as close as they do as other ones that are partisan. So we'll be interested to see and hear the debate on whether that bill goes through or that referendum goes through.
And Bill, you mentioned if people get in touch with you, what's the best way to get in touch with you during the session?
Either bill@workhauser.com or my cell phone is 912-237-0145. I do want to mention a couple of bills.
Sure,
one we passed 2 days ago, and one that's coming down the pipe that will affect everybody in our district, and that is lowering the cost of prescription drugs. We're really bringing the hammer down on those PBMs, these pharmacy benefit managers, and some of these hidden price hikes on these drugs, where they're basically getting kickbacks from the manufacturer instead of passing those cost savings. We know there's a lot of research and development costs that they've got to recoup, and that's fine. But some of these PBMs, they're just so unscrupulous, and so we're really shining the light on that. And we've already heard from, the average consumer doesn't know these bills are moving through, but I've heard from some of our local pharmacies. They know they're going on. They're being educated, and they're all for it. And so, it helps everybody. It helps the consumer. It helps the pharmacist. So, those kind of bills make you feel good about what you're doing up here when, you've got a lot of stuff going on that doesn't make the day go so well.
I know that Congressman Buddy Carter is doing that on a national level with a bipartisan committee up there on trying to control the cost of prescription medication. Of course, him being a pharmacist, he's the only pharmacist in the House of Representatives up there in Washington, D.C. So it's good it's being fought on a national level with Congressman Carter and his committee, and, of course, here in the state of Georgia with what y'all are doing, Bill.
Yeah, and so that's a great point. And the problem is in Congress, and I'm sure that's where the idea came from, is Georgia's not going to wait on federal legislation because they don't do anything. It's Congress, the last, and it's not a Republican or a Democrat, under two different administrations. They do not have a good track record of progressing at too good a pace. So we decided that we're not going to wait on that. We're going to try to help our consumers this year, and hope it does pass federally.
And just joining us Wednesdays with Workhauser. Stick Representative Bill Workhauser on the phone with us. It is Super Bowl week. We've been asking everybody their predictions. So who you like this Sunday?
Oh gosh, I don't watch much until the end of the year. I kind of lean toward the Bengals. I know there's a lot of Georgia sides. Two of my kids went to Georgia. One of them went to LSU. So my family's pretty divided and win either way. We win either way and lose either way.
I understand that.
For some odd reason, what little I've watched, kind of pulling for the Bengals. They've had a tough road like the Falcons, so I guess I'm feel sorry for them.
Well, they're on that magical carpet ride. Like I said, they had a great year. They've been underdogs in every game, but they prevailed in every game. And Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are lighting up just like they did at LSU, so it should be a good game Sunday. But where are you going to be? You going to be home? Or you can? Like I said, that's a late Sunday night. So do you have to travel back during the game, or will you make plans to be back? How are you going to work that out?
So I'm going to go home Friday afternoon, and then I am going to come back in time for the game. We're all gathering at one of my kids' house. 3 of my 4 kids live here in Atlanta.
Okay.
That makes it good.
Where do y'all stay up there? I know that y'all got to be up there all week long. Do they have areas around there that representatives and the state representatives and senators say, or how close are you to the Capitol?
I wish. So we, we're able to raise money, and then we make $17,000 a year because we couldn't raise money. Half of that would go for housing. So the other Meeks and Tillery stay downtown, which is what I have done every year until this year, and I'm trying. It's not a lot of fun, but well, part of it is I'm staying with one of my kids. They have a basement, a full basement, and my wife and I are up here, and so I have a 35 to 40-minute drive each way.
Okay.
So, you know,
Well,
it's nice.
do y'all get a housing allowance? Do y'all get a housing travel allowance, or how does that work to help y'all with those expenses of staying up there in Atlanta all week long?
Well, we do get a per diem, but that's part of, you know, what we make. So
Okay,
yes,
part of that 17. Okay.
Yeah. No. Well, it's separate, but it gets eaten up. Like it would be a net zero for what housing costs.
Right. Okay, I understand. I was just wondering how that worked on there, because I know that, you know, this is a part-time situation for y'all. It's supposed to be. Usually it turns into full-time because you're busy all year long. But all of y'all have, you know, full-time jobs, businesses and jobs and things of that sort that you have to take care of. And I know that staying up there in Atlanta all week long takes away from your regular income.
Yeah. But it's good most of the time.
Okay. Anything else going on bill-wise up there that we need to keep an eye on, or any other news coming out of Atlanta that would be of interest to our listeners?
No, those are the big ones. Like I say all the time, we pass so many things that are good consumer bills, but they're boring to talk about, like banking updates and subsequent injury trust fund, date adjustments, and standards of expert witness and civil cases and all kind of stuff like that. So try to let y'all know the interesting ones.
All right. We appreciate it, Bill. Anything else, Bob?
No, again, appreciate you being here on Wednesdays. We'll talk to you next Wednesday.
All right. Thanks a bunch.
Thanks so much.
All right. State Representative Bill Werkheiser, Wednesdays with Werkheiser, right here on Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup. World famous Butch and Bob Show for this Wednesday morning. Well, our first one of our representatives and senator for Cincinnati, since he's got a kid that went to LSU, that he's going to be on the LSU. On the Cincinnati bandwagon for this week with Blake and Stephen on the I say Georgia, but on the Rams side.
It's going to be a good game. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I just hope it's as good as the playoff games have been so far. I mean, they have just been excellent playoff games each week, and I just hope the Super Bowl is as exciting as the last few weeks have been. And, of course, we'll have all the action for you right here on 105.5 FM Super Bowl Sunday beginning at 2 o'clock with great interviews and features and inside information, everything you know about the players and the upcoming in the game and everything from 2 to or a little after 6 o'clock. And then 6:30 will be right around 6:30 kickoff, and we'll have all that for you right here on 105.5 FM. Well, Bob, yesterday, this week, yesterday and then Monday, I tuned to after I got off the air, I tuned into our AM station, WLOP 1370 AM, Fox Sports Radio The Buzz, to listen to the guest that Dan Patrick had, and Rich Eisen and Jim Rome, and just a great guest on there from sports to entertainment to music to just about anything. They have all kinds of guests on there, and it's just interesting to listen to all this, folks.
It's good stuff.
It's good stuff. So if you like listening to that, just tune over to AM 1370 on your AM dial, Wayne County's Heritage Radio Station, WLOP 1370 AM, The Buzz, Fox Sports Radio. And as soon as I get off the air, I'll hit the button and start listening to the AM and seeing who Dan Patrick's going to have on as guest and them talk and so forth. 105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country Radio. Bob, the good news right now is looking for sunny skies with a high of around 71 on Saturday. Are you going to be able to play golf Saturday before the big $10,000 drawing that night?
No doubt.
No doubt.
Ben doesn't get away till 6. We'll definitely be off the golf course by then.
Yes, sir. You'll be off the golf course by then, but you'll have temperature, by the time that y'all begin, what y'all get, 12:30?
12:30.
Yeah, it'll be right around 70 degrees at that time.
It'll be nice.
So it'll be nice and sunshine out there. Finally, a good-looking weekend coming our way. The temperatures rise each day this week with sunshine. 63 today, 68 tomorrow, 70 on Friday, 71 on Saturday. But apparently we've got some sort of front coming through Saturday night because the high Sunday is only supposed to be 62. But it's only a 20% chance of showers. So it's a front coming through with a small chance of showers on Sunday night and Sunday, or Saturday night and Sunday. But every day, good looking all the way through Saturday and even Sunday, but cooler temperatures on Sunday.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Yep, finally a good-looking weekend. Well, the Wayne County baseball team had their scrimmage game against Vidalia yesterday, lost 9-7, but they start their regular season. I think you said Brantley?
Brantley County, Monday, Valentine's night, 6 o'clock.
Here?
Here, yep.
Okay, all right. Well, we look forward to the 2022 baseball season. How are things going and looking for the new athletic director at Wayne County High School? Inquiry minds want to know, Bob.
I think they're close to making a decision.
Close.
I think they've got it narrowed down to the finalists. So
they do?
The decision should be made.
Now, is that going to be made between Dr. Kelly and the principal?
Greg McDaniel.
Greg McDaniel? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think there's one other person on the committee. So from my understanding, there are 3 people in the interview process.
All right, so they get there and they make their choice and they present that to the school board. Is that correct?
The superintendent will make his presentation
to the school board, and they make that final decision. But usually the school board, says yes to whoever they recommend after the committee selection. So it'll be interesting to see who it's going to be. I know a lot of folks want to know, and then we got our new football coach. Everybody's excited about that, and get our new AD and get ready for the super sports season beginning the rest of this year and next year.
Good looking football schedule for next year. Looking forward to it.
Got our football schedule out for the 2022 season with the new region and going down to 4A, playing some more teams north of us and in the Savannah area.
Yeah. The Islands, Jenkins, and New Hampstead all in our region, along with Southeast Bullock and BC. So it should be
BC. Why do we have to get in the world with BC?
BC.
Dadgum, got to get there in BC.
John Donaldson would have loved it. He loved beating BC.
Yeah, well, they're private school. They can recruit.
Yeah. Well, they're beatable.
Oh, yeah. Of course, any team's beatable. Any team. All right. Anything else on your mind this morning, Bob? That's it?
That's about it.
All right. Have a good day. All right. The world-famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by First Southern Bank, Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings, Murphy Builder Supply, and O'Quinn & Associates Country Financial.